The biggest thing is to remember that stress, anxiety, overwhelm, these are all things that are rooted in our emotions. Like anxiety is literally worry and maybe a side of fear. Stress, again, it's having this like frustration mixed with a tidbit of anger, mixed with that worry, and right, it's this emotional tension. So when we can get control over our emotions, we can get control over that stress. We can control that anxiety or get rid of it. We won't have the overwhelm because we'll be in control of ourselves again. And this plays into part kind of that reaction versus responding. They mean, what are they telling us, and learning from the emotions. So it's not really the same. I know some people kind of bundle them all together, but getting control over them is that first step. And then we start understanding them once we can control them. It's a lot harder to control them or understand them when we look back at this, potential tantrum we just had or this outburst. And you can still start gaining perspective of that, but it's kind of easier when you're in the moment to be like, okay, literally, what just triggered me? Like, why am I feeling this? Okay, okay, I'm getting this. And that's one of the biggest things is, we talk about dealing with the stress, but when we can deal with not reacting, so something happens, you get this bombshell of your car won't start in the morning, and the emotional response is like, oh my god, okay, my car won't start, I have to go to work, I'm going to be late, I don't have time for this. Arr! Emotions are clearly in control. We This is another thing, when we don't have that control over the emotions, it is that pure reaction. And when we're high emotion, we're not thinking. So if we're not thinking properly, we can't possibly problem solve properly, which means we're kind of just, dog chasing our tail, freaking out for a minute, wasting all that time and not solving anything. Whereas you can be like, okay, car won't start. Okay, take the breath. How can I fix this? Okay, I'm going to call work. I'm going to, or text, whatever it is. Hey, might be late. Car's not starting. Going to try and fix this. But just so you know, this is happening. Great. Okay, that's taken care of. Okay, what are potentially my problems? Could be a dead battery. Could be, depends if you live in Alberta in the middle of winter, could be you didn't plug your car in overnight. There, right? Can I problem solve this? Okay. Is it easier? Should I just take a cab to where I need to go? Should I call a friend? Someone, can I borrow a car? How can I solve this problem? Is there a tow truck I can get or a mechanic friend I can call? How am I going to solve this problem? But again, if we're freaking out, we're in that emotional state, we're not thinking of these things. And I can truly tell you, from my personal experience, this is what it is. I remember actually having my truck not start one day, and I had an appointment to get to. And I was like, I did that initial freak out, and I'm like, oh my God, like, oh, eh. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, take a breath. This is not going to solve anything. It's not going to help anything. I need to problem solve. So I'm taking the breath, calming down, and I'm like, hey, my mom's at home. My mom shouldn't need her car. Hey, mom, my truck won't start. I got an appointment. Can I borrow your car? Yes. Great. Call the boyfriend. Hey, truck won't start. We need to fix that. Okay, great. And before you know it, it was actually just a bad battery, fix the battery, good as new, all was done. But if I'd stayed in the freak out, if I'd lost my cool, if I allowed those emotions to really take over for who knows, 20, 30 minutes, I would have missed my appointment. Whereas, I took the breath, I calmed myself, switched over, had that control. All right, now we can problem solve. Now we can come up with the solutions. Boom. I thought of like 5 of them right away. Great. I'm going to try this one. And if that one wouldn't have worked, I would have tried the next one. And if that wouldn't have worked, right? And you just keep thinking and problem solving, because the freaking out, the worrying, the emotions are not going to fix anything. They're not going to help anything. They're just wasting your time and causing you a ton of stress and the anxiety. And again, let's be real, guys. Once you go down that anxiety rabbit hole, all the what ifs start coming in, all those worries, all those fears. All of a sudden, we're 200 what ifs deep. All of a sudden, we're making contingency plans. All of a sudden, because the car won't start, somehow we might be homeless or something like that, because that's the rabbit hole of anxiety. So, This is why it's so important to gain control over your emotions. I mean, learning from them is amazing, but at first, let's get that control so the anxiety does not rule our lives, the stress does not rule our lives. And then, no matter, like I said, it's so wonderful because no matter what happens, whether it's a hurricane outside or, the water's off for whatever reason, or you can just take it in strides and be like, all right, this is unfortunate. How can I fix this? And then you just go on about your day, problem solving, and boom. Like it really can be that simple. Um, as you know, I've also said many times, it's not necessarily the easiest to implement. This is a new muscle. It takes that bit of practice. You have to remind yourself, wait, freaking out doesn't solve anything. Take the breath. Okay, calm down. Worrying is not going to fix this. All right. How can I fix this? Jump into that problem solving mode. And when you can nail this, when you can practice this, when you can hone this, honestly, there is no problem too big that you can't solve because you will know to just flip into problem solving mode. Great, let's not freak out. We can fix this. And that's the best place to be. Anxiety free, stress is minimal, you know how to deal with it, and then you become that resilient rock that can handle anything life throws at you. I don't know about you, but that was a huge goal of mine to not get bogged down with all that nonsense. So, all right. I hope this helps. Leave me some comments. Let me know if you are practicing this, if you disagree with me, if you're like, yeah, God, I want that to be me. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Leave me some comments, and we will talk to you guys later.